With a recap of what occurred yesterday, Friday, February the 11th, around 12:30. The United States Marshals task force for this region in Florida were attempting to capture a suspect, Barry and Blake, a black male, 30. I think you have the package on that. They had developed information that he was in an apartment complex on Monument Road. They called for the assistance of Canine Officer Wes Bowen and his police service dog, Justice. The suspect was wanted for attempted murder from New York and an active parole warrant out of New Jersey. The task force confirmed that the suspect was alone in a second-story apartment at the complex. As they attempted to enter the apartment, the suspect immediately fled out a balcony door, jumped from the balcony, obviously armed. This is the gun, type of gun. This is the type of gun that he had, is not the actual gun. It's a Taurus 40 caliber semi-automatic handgun. So I'll get this to Mike and y'all can have a picture of it if you want. So, he was obviously armed. St. Johns County Deputy Alvarez immediately started verbalizing to Officer Bowen that the suspect was armed. He ran back towards a concrete wall and into a driveway. Wes Bowen, the canine officer, released Justice. Justice engaged the suspect, and at that time the suspect fired 6 shots from the Taurus handgun at the officers. At that time, Officer Alvarez from St. Johns County fired with his service rifle an AR-15 26 times. Officer Bowen fired 14 rounds from his issued 40 caliber Glock. The suspect was struck multiple times and died at the scene. The gun, the type of gun that I showed you, was found underneath the body. It was at the scene, multiple shell casings. Officer Bowen's been involved in 3 previous shootings. This is the first police-involved shooting of 2011. So,
the 2 questions I think from yesterday, the 2 biggest questions are, why did Blake come to Jacksonville, and why was he at that particular apartment complex? Do you have answers to that?
No. We have not confirmed. Maybe the United States Marshal's Office can help you with that, but tips from New York led them to believe he was here. They were following up on those leads, and we don't want to discuss the investigative techniques that they used to determine how he was there or why he was there. And we would be speculating at this time of any kind of relationship that he had to that apartment.
So it's not clear if he knew anybody here or anything?
Right.
Or
that we can't confirm. We do know that she had ties to the New York and New Jersey area, but what their relationship is or was, we do not know.
She?
Who's she? We don't know.
The tipster, is that what you were referring to?
No, the individual who owned the apartment.
Right. Darryl Ramsey.
But it was vacant at the time this went down?
No one else was in the apartment at the time this occurred.
Okay. And at what point was JSO involved in this search any earlier than yesterday, or was did this call come in?
JSO is a part of the task force, so we're members of the task force. I mean, the task force, and you can follow up, is made up of certainly the core being the United States Marshal Service, the other members being law enforcement agencies, and I don't want to, I'd leave somebody out, but certainly the JSO is a part of it, FDLE is a part of it, you know, St. Johns County, where Deputy Alvarez is a part of it. Then it's made up of law enforcement agencies in the region.
I guess my question is, how long had JSO actively been involved in the search? Was it earlier than yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you, kind of on the same note of the task force, because I think people were surprised to hear that a St. Johns County deputy was, you know, part of a police shooting in Duval County.
Right.
Is it, when they call that out, folks just come from everywhere?
No, this is a permanent task.
Yeah, the Florida Regional Fugitive Task Force is a task force that's initiated by the U.S. Marshal Service. On our task force, we have a number of federal, state, and local agencies that are members of the actual task force. Once they come on board to our task force, they are specially deputized, and they're given the same rights and the authority of a deputy U.S. Marshal. And so that's how he was able to already be here as a member of the task force.
Ma'am, do you mind just go to the mic and just spell your first and last name and give us your title, please, so we have it?
My name is Penelope Knox, P-E-N-E-L-O-P-E, last name Knox, K-N-O-X, and I'm a Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal.
Are you based in this area?
Yes, Jacksonville Division.
So as the Marshal Service, I guess, is tracking him down the coast or whatnot, or whatever leads him to be here, then I'm assuming your office or this region gets a call to say, hey, we think he might be here, and now the task force kind of goes into play, and
Yes.
it goes from there?
New York Police Department received the tip, and they contacted us in the Marshal Service by sending a collateral lead, saying that they thought that he was here in the area. At that point, we did our investigation, and we were able to locate and apprehend the subject.
One for you, if I can. He's deceased now, so you may be able to answer this. Do you know, was this one of the cases where he didn't want to go back to jail, had a death wish?
I don't think they spoke to him prior to the shooting, so we don't know that he made any threats or anything like that. So, you know, it is what it is. You got a dangerous felon that's wanted, that the Marshal Service is looking for, and this is something that they do every day. That's what they do. I mean, we're part of that task force. We're proud to be a part of that task force. I'm sure the other law enforcement agencies are, but they face this every day. And certainly in this, kudos to the dog, the police service dog Justice, who distracted the suspect at the time. And we were able to capture him without the dog being hurt, without the officers being hurt, and the violent felon was killed.
Was a vehicle located for him?
I don't know that.
I don't know at this time.
Okay, so we don't know how exactly he got there?
No.
Okay.
Do you know the officer who fired the 26? Had he been involved in any other police involved?
You'll have to get with St. Johns County. He is a St. Johns County deputy.
All right, guys, last question, please. We're done. Thank you, Chief.